Hey everyone, my name is Janae. I am the owner of Just Gracefully Driven, where I help overwhelmed women to navigate their God given roles with clarity and confidence. And I just decided to hop on. First of all, happy April 1st. This is the first day of the second quarter of the year. If you don't know quarters, quarters are split up 4 quarters in a year. So you have January, February, March, which is your first complete quarter. Now we're in our second quarter, which is April, May, and June. So I wanted to come on. We're going to set up our second quarter correctly. What are some things that you should be seeing? How can my new quarter or this quarter look a little bit different from my first quarter? How can I get things done? If you kind of feel like you hopped off the bandwagon a little bit and it started the first of the year, and you're like, hey, I want to do something different. I want to make sure that I do not waste the year. I'm just going to give you some things of what you should look for. So, speaking of first quarter for me was great. And the reason why a lot of times people don't kind of see me on the social media is because I really take that time to kind of hone in on what it is I want to see for my year. And this is not just with Just Gracefully Driven. This is individually me as Janae by myself, and then Janae as a family, Janae as a wife, Janae as a mom. Um, and then some other fun things that I want to do. And then, of course, Just Gracefully Driven. So I kind of dissect four of those categories or four of those roles as we speak of, helping overwhelmed women to navigate and clarify their roles. Um, though that's some of the things as far as roles wise of what I play here, from day to day. And so that looks a little bit different for me. I used to just like out the bat, pew, like once the new year started, I'm gung ho. I'm all the way in. I'm trying to see all these things. But I did a video last year. Was it last year? Yes, it was last year. And it was according to Forbes. Forbes had mentioned probably between 80 and 88% of people who started their New Year's resolution literally did not even do it by March. That's only 3 months in the new year. And the reason why, I presume from my perspective, is they don't have a proper foundation. They don't have a proper structure. They don't have a strategy. And those things can play a very vital key in your life. Do you know why? I'm glad that you asked. Because time goes by. So here you are. I'm going to start off the new year. I have this going. I'm excited about it. And then March comes, which is literally 3 months later, and you have nothing. And so I like to kind of hone in on my year, sit down, focus. I know my church has a fast. We do the 21-day fast. And I just take time to really settle, focus, really see, okay, this is where I am. Where do I need to get from here? Where do I want to be from here? And so those steps change because life changes. You may have something added on this year that you didn't have last year, or something detrimental could have happened to you that you're trying to navigate or work through. So life happens. And so I just kind of wanted to go over, what did your first quarter look like compared to where you want to go now? These are some of the things. Number one for me is you got to know, and I'm an English major, you gotta know. You have to know your purpose. Why are you here? Why are you here? You are not here on earth just to take up space, because our God is too intelligent to just waste space. You're not. So for those who are struggling to understand, hey, do I have a purpose? These are legit questions. Do I have a purpose? Do I have a calling? Why am I here? All of those things, I want to go ahead and just let you know, yes, you're here for a reason, you're here for a purpose, and God is depending on you to fulfill that. And one of my favorite scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the thoughts and the plans that I have towards you, thoughts and plans that I have towards you, they are good. They are not of evil, to give you a hope and a future." And some translations say an expected end. So, from that perspective alone, we already know that God does not create things just to create things. Every single thing has a purpose and a reason. And that is one of the things that you must know in order to proceed or be successful in anything that you try in life. You have to know, hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. And it's God ordained why I'm here. Now, where your job comes in is you have to know, you have to go and find what that is. Go find out what that is for you. Okay. We're not going to just lay stuff on your lap. Sometimes it's like, oh, wow, an aha moment, a revelation. God is giving you a revelation. He could have given it to you in a dream, He could have given it to you a vision. I remember having a dream at 16 years old, and I was so scared about that dream that the Lord revealed to me that was going to happen to me in my future, that I literally tucked it in the back of my memory and did not remember it anymore, probably until I was 26, 27. And the way things are going now, the Lord was right. And because of how my personality was and still kind of is from time to time, it scared the daylights out of me. I was just being honest with you. But there are so many ways in how He can reveal that to you, but it's your job to know. So first thing in, hey, what is it that I'm looking for this quarter that may have been a little cloudy the first quarter, is you got to know what you're here for. You have to know your purpose. You have to know why you're here and how to impact. Second thing is, I would say, is you have to understand what type of impact you want to have. When you understand what you're created to do, you have to know, okay, how do I want to impact? How do I want to um, show forth my presence in the world? That could be locally, that could be globally and internationally. I don't know. What does that look like for you? Did you ever have a time where you just imagined and you said to yourself, man, that's what I want to do? I know this is what I want to do. And nobody could take the feeling or the joy away from you when you understood in that moment, this is what I wanted to do. Um, you have to be able to envision yourself to say, this is what I want to do. I want to impact. What does that look like for me? So you got to kind of take in writing, when we do writing and we do essays and all that stuff, we do a section what is called brainstorming. And we've done this since the 5th grade. So everybody should know. But, when you get into college level and all that, it kind of gets a little bit more intense. But you want to be there. You want to be at the brainstorming. Hey, if money wasn't an object, if I had it, what would I be doing? If I knew I wouldn't fail, those are the questions that I would ask myself. If I knew I wouldn't fail, what would I be doing? What brings me fulfillment? What brings me joy? Sometimes your purpose may not bring you joy, but there's still a sense of fulfillment that I know that I know how to do this. And so those are some of the things that you want to ask yourself. You want to learn how to impact and what you see for yourself as far as impacting. And when you understand, hey, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to grab a hold to it, I'm going to cleave onto it, write it down. Write it down. Do you know why? Why writing it down is so important? So it won't be snatched away from your memory. If I was 16 years old and I literally wrote down the dream that I had, I wouldn't have tucked it in the back of my memory so much. Do you know why? Because if I would have read that every day, it would have started becoming more and more and more real to me. If I repeated it out loud, faith comes not hearing by the word. It's the word that I'm putting in. It's not only the word of God, but it's the word that God has given to me about me. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord gave me this vision. Lord gave me this dream. The Lord told me through this person. Check your sources, make sure that's right. But I'm just saying sometimes, the Lord may give somebody to say, hey, go tell that person this. And it may line up into what you already knew. And it may serve as confirmation. Write it down. When you write it down, you make sure, hey, it's real. I'm writing the word down. I'm repeating this to myself. And the more you do that, the more it's going to become more real to you. Another thing I would say, when you write it down, when you envision, when you know what you're created for, go out and find some people that are in that industry or doing what you have been now purposed to do, or you have been aware of the purpose that you're meant to walk in and fulfill. I would say go research some people to go find out what that actually physically looks like. Now, if you could get somebody that's, I don't want to say this, but maybe somebody that looks like you, somebody that may have your similar background, somebody that you can relate to, that may have the same similar story, because that right in itself is serves as a motivation to say, hey, I've been in this situation, this person can relate, this person has done it, so can I. However, once you've seen, the people that may have looked like you could relate to, also look at outside options, read between the lines, and hey, how did they do it? How did they master it? What skill set did they do? Those are some of the questions that you can ask, and some of the things that you can look up. I would say research, talk to people. If you know people in that industry, or you know somebody that knows somebody in that industry, ask them. You know what I'm saying? Get your feet all in, get it wet, get it just hands dirty, get in there and see what possibilities and opportunities are made for you. Lastly, I would say, okay, we've known our purpose, we're envisioning and imagining ourselves in this position, we're writing it down, we're saying it out loud. We're finding people in the industry, we're researching those opportunities as well. What I would also encourage you to do is to execute and go for it. There's nothing else that's holding you back besides you. Nothing. Nobody else can hold you back besides yourself. Get a determination and a hustle. It doesn't always have to be a bad hustle, but get a determination and get a hustle in there to say, I'm going to find this out. I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to understand and realize I have a purpose. I have a plan. What does that look like? And then I will also say is assess your schedule. Assess your schedule now to say, am I able to proceed with this? Am I able to fit this in? Um, and not only that, but take one step at a time. So don't overwhelm yourself. I always tell people, don't overwhelm yourself, but add on what with the schedule that I have now. What does that look like if I added this? Take away something. Because as overwhelmed women, if you're navigating multiple roles, like I have 6 kids, I will say that forever and ever and ever. I'm married, I have 6 kids, I still work, and then I have a business. Well, all of those, and I serve in my ministry at church. All of those things require time. So there's something in my schedule that I can do away with, at least for an hour or 2 hours out of my day, so I can now put in or invest in the time that I need to work on what God has given to me. And God is looking at that. He's looking for you to make sure that you're operating in your best gift. You are his best gift. He's like, man, I created you for something and I want to see that back into me. When we purchase our cars, or you purchase a home, or you purchase a chair, it could be as simple as a microphone. I'm using when I bought this microphone. Oh no, my husband bought this microphone as a gift. When he bought this microphone for me, he bought me this chair. Whatever. I bought this light. I have a purpose for it and I intend to use it. So come from that perspective of, hey, I would want to see my investment returned back to me. And all of that is for the glorification of God. It's not even for our own selves, it's for his glory. So how much more should we give it back to him, especially since those who are believers, we celebrated the Resurrection Sunday yesterday, and the whole weekend, Good Friday leading into Resurrection Sunday. And it's basically remembering the sacrifice that he made for us. So we owe him our lives back to him to say, Lord, this is your glory. You have a plan for my life. Reveal that plan to me. So when you look at your first quarter, and honestly, shouldn't even take long, but you should think to yourself, did I do any of the things that I said that I was going to do? Did I do one? Am I on the right track? Am I to a good start? If not, then really assess where you are and where you need to go. And then, hey, Lord, give me my purpose. Help me to envision what you have for me, whether you give it to me in a dream, whether I'm just imagining, whether by your word, this is what I say that I can have. Imagine, where do you envision yourself? How am I meant to impact? And then go research. Go research who's in that industry that's dominating. Who do I relate with? How can this be done? Because that's what you need, a physical example of how this can be done. And then when you do that, write it down. Write it down where you can see it every single day, where you can say it out loud to yourself every day, and then go execute. We need you. I'm being serious. We need you. So I hope that helps. Also, too, I have a ebook called The Power of a Plan. So if you DM me, I literally can just shoot it over to you. Um, right now, I'm transferring my website to another platform. And the reason why is because I'm going to be doing a coaching and coursing program, and this platform will be able to host it. So once that's complete, I'll be able to let you guys know. But also, again, just DM me Power of a Plan, and I'll be able to go ahead and send it over to you. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helps. Let's get it this quarter. I really want to see you hit your goals. I want to see you be successful, and I want to ultimately see you live the life that God created for you. So until next time, you guys, I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one.